Today we will do chapter 20, the last chapter of your Marigold book. Who will be Ningthou? It's the story about a king and the queen and how they ruled their kingdom. Okay, so about Ningthou and Lima, the king and the queen of Kalinpak on in Manipur. Long, long ago, in the land of Kalimpak in Manipur, there lived a Ningthou and Lima. They were loved dearly by the people. The Ningthou and the Lima, on their part, never stopped thinking about their Miam, their people. So they used to think about their people every time. Our Miam should be happy, they said. The people were not the only one who loved their Ningthou and Lima. The birds and the animals too loved them. The Ningthou and Lima always said everybody in Kalin Park should live in peace, not only the people, but the birds and the animals and trees. Their, their beloved king and queen had three sons. So who were they? What were their names? Sanajova, Saniyama, and Sanatumba. 12 years later, a daughter was born. So after 12 years, they had a daughter and they named her Sanatumbi. She was a lovely child, soft and beautiful inside. She was loved by one and all. The years went by and the children grew up well. And then one day the Ningthou called his minister and said, "It is now um, time to check, time to decide the Tungi Ningthou." Okay, uh, Tungi Ningthou is a future king, and the ministers were shocked. But O Ningthou, what is there to decide? Sanajova, your eldest son, will be our future king. So, as you know, the old days, as the young eldest one used to be the king, they said the king, the people, the ministers, they said that fine, your eldest son will be the king. But the king thought no, the eldest son won't be the king, as he had three kids. So decided to have a contest. "We will have a contest to select the future king," the Lima said. And so, in the land of Kalimpak, there was a contest, a horse race. Whoever reached the Kongnang, the banyan tree, first will be declared Tunginingtho. So they decided that there will be a contest, and whosoever will reach first will win the race. And the strange thing happened. All three of them finished the race together. They were expert riders, and all three reached the finish line at the same time. The three sons. There was great excitement. Excitement. "Look at them!" the people shouted. "Shagol Tombanuma, such fine horsemen." It means such fine horsemen. But one question remained. Who would be the Tungi Ningthou? The Ningthou and Lima turned to their sons. The Ningthou said, "Sanajova, Saniyama, and Sanutumba, you have proved that you are fine horsemen." Okay, so the king and the queen said that you have really proved that you are fine horsemen, as all three of them reached the line, finished the line the same time. But they said you have to do something different. Okay, so how these three sons will prove that they are different from each other? Let's see the story, so that we can decide who will be the Tunginingto. Suddenly, Sanujoba mounted his horse and held his spear straight in front of him. He looked around. There was a hush among people. Who is Sanujova, the eldest son? What is Sanujova, the eldest son, going to do? They thought to themselves. They all were shocked. Sanajova then looked at the huge Kongnang standing majestically in the distance. He pierced the tree and jumped his horse right through it. "Bravo, bravo!" the people shouted. "Thorough, thorough!" And they fell silent. Okay, they were really, astonished, and they wanted to see what will the second son do, because the first one has already pierced the tree. Now it was the turn of the second son, Saniyama. What would he do? Sanyama too looked at the Kongnam and he mounted his horse. As he too rode towards the tree, harder and harder, the people watched in silence, afraid even to breathe. When he was really close, he urged his horse to jump. So he went on, and when he was close, higher and higher, the horse rose until the horse and the rider jumped clear over the huge tree and landed on the other side in a wonderful motion. The people breathed in relief and said in unison, Pache Pache, that means wonderful, wonderful. They were all astonished by the second son, Sanyama too. Now it was the turn of the youngest son, Senatumba. He too rode his horse towards Kongnang, and before anybody knew what was happening, uprooted it. So he reached, and what he did, he uprooted it. That means he took out the tree from there. Triumphantly, he carried the tree to the Ningthou and Lima, and he laid it at their feet. Shout of Thoro Thoro, Paji Paji, fill the mountains. The people grew restless. Why were the Ningthou and the Lima taking so long to make the announcement? So the third one also did a very brave thing, isn't it? That is what they thought. He was a person who, it was so difficult to, even to touch the banyan tree, but he uprooted it. They craned their necks to see what was happening. The Ningthou and the Lima were watching Sanatumbi, their 5 years old daughter. She looked sad and lonely. She stared at Kongnan, which lay dead by the thorn. Birds flapped worriedly around, searching for their homes in the trees. Sanatumbi walked up to the Kongnan and whispered, The Kongnan is dead. It was hurt by the spear, now it is dead. The people were all attention. The Ningthou stood up. He looked up at the three boys. He looked at the little girl. He turned to the people. If anybody is worthy of becoming the ruler, he said, it is little Senatumbi. It was she who told us at the soul, at this look at the soul of Kongman. Okay, Senatumbi feels the pain of others. She feels the pain of people, the animals, the birds, and the trees. I declare Senna to be the future Lima of Kelipak, the Ningthou said. A silence fell. So she was the only one who used to empathize with the people, the birds, and not only the people and the birds, but with the Kongnang, the banyan tree as well. Everyone turned to look at the little girl, the future queen. There she stood, all of 5, like a small Kongnang, with birds flying all around her. They sat on her shoulders and on her head. She held out her hands full of grain, and the birds flapped around about her, pecking at the food. A Lima is one who doesn't hurt anybody in the kingdom. So they declared that the youngest daughter, Senatobi, will be the Lima, the queen, because the queen is a person who will never hurt anybody in the kingdom, who will always think about the kingdom and the people. Written by Indira Mukherjee. So read the story and have a great day ahead. Bye bye. Take care.